Okie dokie. All right. Most of us are using a flange bearing like this on the carts. I think just about everybody uses this. Not everybody, but most of us. Some people are using a pillow block bearing. This is a type of pillow block bearing. This is not a pillow block, but it's an insert bearing. This is a McGill. The bearings that I've been using are true pitch, and they're from the farm store. Most of the farm stores handle them. And I can't find anything online at all about them. They seem to have pretty much disappeared. I think they've been bought out, or they changed the name to Triton. And I can find Triton online. But you can go to McMaster, you can go to Granger, or any of the outlets usually have flange bearings, insert bearings. But the ones we use here, we can't grease them. You know, once you put them on, you use them, they're not permanently greased. And when you take your axle apart, you'll find all kinds of grease all over the place because it's worked out of here. They don't have a real good seal in them. So I wanted to rig a little something up for greasing them. The pillow block bearings, when they're in a cast housing like this, you've got a grease fitting on it. If you take a look at all your flange bearings, they usually have a grease hole, a very small grease hole right here. And this is a Chinese-made bearing. Very small grease hole. You can usually get some grease into that, which will get it into the bearing. The American-made McGill bearing, which is now owned by Sealmaster, I believe, they've got a nice big groove in it for greasing them up. It's a lot easier to get grease into them. But these housings, to get the bearing into the housing, there's two notches in your housing in which you can put your bearing. You want to make sure that the hole is on the side where the grease fitting is. Some of them have a hole on both sides, so you can put it in either way, but not all of them. These true pitch bearings I've got here only have it on one side. So bearing goes into here, and then you can rotate it around. I'm going to try to rotate this so that the oil hole, or the grease hole, is on top in line with the grease fitting. Okay, so my Cyclekart bearing is in the housing. You see the grease coming out of the bearing now. Don't you just love being a greaser? When I started out as a teenager in senior high school, I was working in a Chevy dealer, and I started out in a grease rack, and I worked into a parts department and ended up working at a parts department until I went into service in my 20s. But it's always been a dirty, messy job, but a necessary one. Okay, so to get this out of here now, crowbar works real good if you got a narrow end on it that'll go through the 1 inch here. This can be turned down here. And then the bearing comes out. Now you can see we've got a freshly greased bearing, which will go back into our flanges. So that's how we grease up the flange type bearings that we're using. Thought that might be of interest to some people. All you need is a pillow block bearing or an insert housing of some sort like this, of the right size. I think they're 205 size, 200 series size, and you can grease up your bearings. That'll do it.